Welcome to Ray's Toolbox. Today we're going to install a fireplace in the wall. The fireplace that we have is electric. It has a couple of options on it. You can use legs like a TV and set it on something. You can mount it directly onto the wall, but it's going to stick out quite a ways if we do that. So I'm going to surface mount it, make it flush with the wall, or as flush as I can get anyway. In the process of doing this, I need to take the drywall off and get to the studs and put a header in there to support the roof, the ceiling, everything like that. So to get down to the studs, I need to take the drywall off. We decided to go ahead and take the drywall off of this entire wall, and we're going to go back with car siding to make this wall kind of an accent wall. Take the drywall off, and to do this right, first I have to take the trim off from around the door. I'm going to take the switch plates off, and there's one receptacle that I'm going to have to deal with here. So I'm going to take the trim off first, and then we'll take the drywall off, we'll get into the studs, and we can see exactly what we need to do. So I have the drywall off. I have the insulation out that was in there. I think that was in there for sound deadening between the two different rooms. I need to put in a header above these studs that I'm going to have to take out, because this is where the fireplace is going to go. The bad part is the back side of this is the drywall to the closet for the bedroom on the other side. Since that drywall is fastened to the studs, naturally I'm going to have to cut that out too, which is kind of a win-win, I guess. Not win that I have to cut that part out, but since it is going to be gone, the fireplace insert is 6 inches deep, 6 and something inches deep. This is only 3.5 inches, so I can go ahead and recess the fireplace on into the closet a little bit more, and that way it'll be flush, or more flush I guess, on the front side here. I haven't taken it down on the box yet to see what type of lip that it has, but it's going to set flush against the wall. So that's the next step. I'm going to cut down these studs and get the drywall off on the inside, and then I can take these studs out and put a header up. So that wasn't too bad. I have the header in here. I've got my support braces on the sides. Next I'm going to put a 1x6 flat on the bottom of this, and then that's going to be the top of my frame for the back of the fireplace. Then I'm going to build some framing on the bottom here and put another 1x6 on the bottom of that, just so I have something to block in the back side of it with, since it's going to be sticking back a little bit further than the wall is. All the framework is finished. I set the fireplace in just temporary to make sure I have the opening big enough. So the next step is, before I set the fireplace in for good, it's flush mount, I'm going to put car siding on the wall, just as a decorative accent wall, I guess, as well. So the fireplace goes on the outside of that actually, so I need to put the car siding on now, and then we'll set the fireplace where it belongs. If you're not familiar with the car siding, check the link up here, and we'll have a video there to show you how we did that. All of the car siding is up. We have it stained. We have a coat of polyurethane on it. It's time to put the fireplace in. Before I put the front glass on here, we have an option of using either white stones that came with it, some clear glass stones, I guess, or some wood looking sticks. We'll see what kind of combination we come up with, and I'll show you the finished product. I'm going to go with the crystals and the little pieces of wood. I know I make a shadow, so that doesn't help a lot with the video. So let's put the front on it. This simply has a couple hooks that line up in the holes in the face of it. There we go. There's a screw that goes in the two different ends here, and that'll keep this glass from popping off. I don't think it will without it, but that's the way it's made. We also can change the temperature as this does heat. This also has a timer on it that you can set anywhere from 1 to 8 hours, so it'll go off by itself at the end of that time frame. The fireplace has different intensity settings on the light. We can go from high and make it go down dimmer until we actually shut the flame off. We can also change the color of the flame. We can get it to cycle through here. Not sure that I'm liking the green flame or the straight blue one, but a lot of different options on this fireplace. Remember, this had a backlight feature on it. It has lights that's supposed to light up the wall behind it, which would work great if it was a surface mount or put on the legs that came with it. But just to have it recessed, let me turn them on here. That's all the effect that we have. Little lights in the corner is all you can actually see from this. So that's one option that I would pay attention to if you want a recessed fireplace and a backlit feature. They don't really go hand in hand. So the back side of this, you can see we have big lights actually on both sides, and all you can get on the front side are those little bitty lights. So just so you can see the inside of the closet or the back side of the fireplace, there's the header that we put in, and the fireplace of course is right below it. I did put in a electric outlet so we could plug it in. I am going to put a back on this, make it a cabinet of its own to protect it from clothes and whatever hitting it from the closet from this side. That's all there is to install this fireplace. We did the flush mount. Come out pretty good, I think. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up at the bottom and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next project. Bye.